Olá, boa noite. Eu sou Ricardo Lopes Cardoso. Estamos no webinar, a apresentação do programa de mestrado acadêmico e doutorado da Escola Brasileira de Gestão Pública e de Empresas da Fundação Getulio Vargas, o Msc PhD da EBAPE, Fundação FGV. É um prazer ter vocês aqui. Como vocês sabem, o nosso curso é em inglês. Então, todas as disciplinas são em inglês. Então, daqui a pouquinho, eu vou começar a falar em inglês aqui nesse webinar, até para ser coerente, né? Já que o curso é em inglês, é que a gente espera uma audiência que saiba, seja proficiente em inglês. Então, daí a ideia da apresentação desse conteúdo ser em inglês também. Só vou ler um disclaimer padrão da FGV para todos esses nossos eventos. Todos aqui presentes concordam em participar desse evento de forma espontânea e, com isso, autorizam o uso de sua imagem para essa transmissão, que ficará disponível posteriormente nos canais oficiais da Fundação Getulio Vargas. E aí que eu coloco também, embora basicamente só a minha imagem seja apresentada, ao final do evento teremos uma sessão de perguntas e respostas. Você tem a oportunidade de se identificar ao fazer a pergunta. É só você escrever o teu nome ali. Se você escrever o teu nome, eu vou ler o teu nome. Se você não escrever o teu nome, eu vou entender que você quer o teu anonimato respeitado, e é óbvio que você não será identificado. Então, aquele disclaimer que eu li com relação à imagem também serve com relação ao nome, tá? Se você fizer a pergunta se identificando, você autoriza nesta transmissão o seu nome ser citado. Como eu disse, como o nosso curso é em inglês, então eu vou passar para o inglês para ser coerente aí. So welcome everyone. Thank you for your interest in our MSc and PhD program in administration at EBAPE, Fundação Getulio Vargas, the Brazilian School of Public and Business Administration of FGV in Rio de Janeiro. I'm Ricardo Lopes Cardoso, and this is our webinar on the presentation of the program. The disclaimer I just read in Portuguese. I will make it very small here in English. The idea is that all of us that are attending to this conference today agree to the use of its image on the recording that will be further made available at FGV official channels. And at the end of the seminar, we will have a Q&A session where you can type on through Slido your questions. If you identify yourself, type in your name there. I will read your name in a loud voice here, and therefore you also agree with the disclosure of your name in the recording of this session. If you prefer to keep anonymously, please don't type your name, and then I will, of course, respect your wish to keep yourself anonymously. Okay, so now I will share my screen. I prepared a PowerPoint slide to guide me through this webinar today. I hope you all can see my screen right now. So there we go. As I said, I'm Ricardo. I'm the coordinator of the program, the academic coordinator. I am very happy that I have the valuable support from Daniele Santos, the program manager, and Danusa Vasconcelos, the admissions officer. Most probably, if you are here today, that's because you already had some way to contact us, and most probably the Danusa was the one to whom you ask the question or who answer your questions. And as soon as you get into the program, you will keep in touch with Daniele. That's why it's so important that you know both of them. A little bit about the program. The Academic Graduate Studies in Administration at FGV EBAPE is composed of the Master and the PhD, both in administration. The courses are interconnected and share the same values and principles. And more than that, you will see once you get into the register and enroll in our program, that is master students and PhD students take most of the same courses together. And that's very valuable opportunity to share experiences and both grow together in this academic environment. And we are very proud of our achievements. EBAPE is accredited by EFMD Equis and AACSB, and the Brazilian federal government, represented by CAPES, assesses the quality of all the graduate studies here in Brazil and assess a grade that goes until 7. 7 is the highest, the best grade, and we are very proud that we have this grade number 7 from CAPES in our master and PhD program in administration. What's the purpose of a master program and our PhD program? Although they share the same values and principles, they have different purposes, as you see in this slide here. The master has the purpose of preparing students to become PhD students in the future, or to either at FGV or in any other distinguished institution in Brazil or abroad. Or they can, those that graduate from our master can join the job market and pursue their professional career in the job market. While the PhD program has the purpose of preparing students for academic careers as research professors. And we expect and we do all the efforts to that those that graduate from our PhD pursue academic career at top level universities, either here in Brazil or abroad. And we are very proud of our alumni that are working on definitely very, very high level universities and research centers, both in Brazil and many abroad in Europe or the US mainly. Some in Latin America as well. Now, sometimes candidates ask me, why should they join us at EBAPE? And sometimes I ask our students, why have you joined us at EBAPE in our Master PhD program? And this slide comprises the freedom, the most quoted answers that they present. And then we organize those reasons under these 4 pillars: road renewed faculty, quality and rigorous training, inspiring academic experience, and top-notch students. Talk about the road renewed faculty first. What do we mean by that? All our faculty have international experience. Some of them are not Brazilians. They were born, did the undergrad, they graduated from abroad, either from Europe, Asia, North America, and some, of course, are Brazilian, as myself. But on the top of that, when I talk about international experience, it's not only born and growing and studying abroad, but most of us also had the opportunity to teach outside Brazil, mainly in Europe or North America, or at least performed there as visiting scholars or went for postdoc experience. All of us have done that. In addition to that, our research is international. And that also counts a lot as international experience, because we work as reviewers, and also some colleagues of ours are editors of high top-notch academic journals published by international organizations. And in addition to that, our research are published on international journals mainly. And the master and PhD faculty is, I can say for sure, the most productivity faculty on administration in the field of administration here in Brazil. We publish a lot and we publish in top journals. So yeah, it's a research-oriented program, definitely. The quality and rigorous training. As I said in the beginning, that's why I'm speaking English here. Our program is fully taught in English. Why? Mainly because the first reason is that English is the main language on research. If we want to know about the most novel research, the innovations and on methods and research results, we need to go through academic journals published in English, definitely. And also we read papers published in English. It's much easier for us to debate and discuss those research also speaking English, because at the end of the day, we will intend to publish our research, our papers on academic journals also published in English. So it would be a waste of time to read a paper in English, translate it to Portuguese, debate it in Portuguese, and then build your own research in Portuguese to, at the end of the day, retranslate it to English. Makes no sense, and we would get lost in translation. So to avoid that, we do the entire process already in English. In addition to that, as a consequence, our course is fully taught in English because we are open for international students to join us in Rio de Janeiro at EBAPE and learn with us and do research with us here in Brazil. Interestingly, even though in some courses there are only Brazilian native Portuguese speakers, the courses are taught in English anyhow. Our program is a full-time program. It means that we have classes from Mondays morning until Saturdays morning in some cases, although we used to concentrate our courses from Mondays morning to Thursdays afternoon. We keep Fridays, Mondays and afternoons, and Saturdays morning available for classes as well. In some cases, we need to schedule special classes for Fridays or Saturdays. Sorry. So, what does it mean having a full-time program? It means that the course is built for students that dedicate themselves entirely and exclusively to this program. It doesn't mean that we don't accept students that also work. It means that the program was designed for those that do not work. But if you work and you want to study with us, you might be welcome if you are outstanding in the selection process and if you commit yourself to do all your efforts to keep up with the course, because we will not ask you if you work in order to accept you. We will accept you even though you work. However, we will never accept from any student at any course the statement, oh, sorry, professor, I didn't do the assignment because I work. So if working is not an excuse for not performing your duties as a student. That's the main issue here. But I have some more clear information about what we understand by a full-time master program, PhD program. The master program has a 21 months period, so it means that you will start classes on January next year. So January 23rd, you'll be your first day at school. And if you are a master student, you might defend your master thesis up to the end of September 2024. Within 12 months, you are expected to take all the credits, do the research, and defend your master thesis within 21 months. If you are a PhD student, the same idea, but 4 years time period. So 48 months since the first day of class in January 2023 until December 23, 24, 25, 26, until December 26 to defend your master dissertation, to your PhD dissertation, okay? Of course, if you work, you will most probably not be able to comply with this timetable. So again, this timetable was prepared for those that dedicate themselves exclusively to the program. And about the program structure. The master is structured on the 28 credits on courses, plus the other activities, including your master thesis defense, goes up to 34 credits, which means 510 hours in classroom mainly. In addition to outside classroom studying activities that you need to dedicate yourself to take the courses. So which courses will you take? You shall take method courses. In which method courses you shall take as a master student? Statistics 1A, 1B, and either qualitative data collection or analysis or, again, statistics 1A, statistics 1B, and either one of these two qualitative studies. Qualitative data collection analysis or comparative historical methods. So from this small piece from this slide, we can see that our program has a deep focus on methods, and it is really demanding on quantitative methods, quantitative studies. We also provide qualitative approach, but if I need to say the balance is a little bit more heavy on the side of quantity than quality, but we provide both knowledge, both backgrounds for you. And in addition to method courses, the 3 method courses, you shall take 4 courses from the research track that you choose. We have 4 research tracks in the program. You shall select any 4 courses specifically from the research track that you choose. In addition, you shall take 5 other courses. These 5 other courses might be other methodological courses, other courses from your research track, or any course from any other research track. You can also take some as elective courses. You can decide to take some courses outside our program at other FGV schools or either at other universities. Up to 2 elective courses you can take outside our program. You shall also attend to the graduate seminars during the first year of the program, in your case, in year 2023. And you also get 2 credits under the course that we call Supervised Research Seminar. It's the session whether you will discuss your research project, the project of your master thesis with your supervisor. Again, this amount of hours considers only the in-classroom hours. What I mean is that each of these course methods, research track or elective courses, they are 30 hours course. What do we mean by a 30-hour course? Each course is delivered over 3 hours per day during 10 weeks. So during 10 weeks, you take, like today, Tuesdays afternoon. So there will be 10 Tuesdays in a row where you will meet to take that specific course from, let's say, from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. There are 30 hours. The point is, in order to be able to follow and understand and do all the activities professors expect from students during those 30 hours in classroom, you shall dedicate yourself outside the classroom. And on an average, that goes from 30 hours outside the classroom up to 60 hours outside the classroom. Of course, it depends on the course, depends on the professor, depends on you, on how fast you read in English, how familiar are you with the topic of that course, and so on and so forth. So on average, I can say that for a 30 hours course inside the classroom, you shall dedicate yourself on average 45 hours more outside the classroom. So for each course that is 30 hours in classroom, in total, it will demand you on average 75 hours per course. It's a lot. It's a lot considering that you take 3 plus 4, 7 plus 5, 12 courses within 1 year. So that's why I said that this program was designed for those that dedicate themselves exclusively to the program. In other words, full-time dedication. The structure of our PhD is quite similar, so I will go a little bit faster. The name of the courses differ and the amount of courses differ, but the principles are pretty similar. PhD students might take method courses, machine learning in business research, panel data analysis, plus 4 other method courses that students will choose freely. So in total, PhD students might take 6 method courses, plus 5 courses from the research track that each student has chosen, plus 4 other elective courses. Again, the same rules for the elective courses. You can take more method courses or more research track courses or courses from any other research track offered at EBAPE. You can take up to 2 courses outside our program, either at other FGV school or at any other university in Brazil or abroad. Oh, and what I will say now is valid both for the master students and for the PhD students. We also have an additional situation whether you can take elective courses. If you publish a research paper, an original research paper on a high-level academic journal during your research period, your courses credit period, you can we can consider that publishing that paper works as the same as taking any elective course. So there are many ways where there are master students or can take these 5 elective courses, or a PhD student can take these 4, okay? Including publishing a research paper, original research paper on a high-level academic journal. In addition to the courses, master PhD students and PhD students might attend the graduate seminars for 1 year in a whole, and they also need to discuss their research, their project with their supervisor. In total, the PhD is equivalent to 720 hours, but again, this accounts only for the in-classroom hours. Again, be aware that a 30 hours course on average might demand you 75 hours total, 30 in classroom plus 45 on average outside the classroom. And as I said, you have to choose a research track, because you will need to take a certain amount of courses from that specific research track you have chosen. So these are the research tracks that we offer at EBAPE. Institutions, Policy and Government, coordinated by Professor Carlos Pereira. Behavioral and Decision Sciences, coordinated by Professor Ishane Agraval. Strategy, Management and Organizations, coordinated by Professor Olivier Bertrand. And Finance, coordinated by Professor Lars Norden. I do suggest to you that you are interested in applying to our program, please go to our website, learn about the program, understand the meaning and the kind of research that we do in each of our research tracks, specifically of that research track to which you identify yourself at most. And then take a look on the faculty. Identify which faculty research in each of on the research track that you are most interested in. Read their CV. Take a look on the papers they publish. Read the papers we publish related to the research track that you are most interested in, to make sure that you are in the right place. In addition to all of that I had said about the full-time program, still under the pillar of quality and rigorous training, EBAPE has some, or in total 5 research centers, but 3 of them are really closely related to the program. So I only bring information about those 3 research centers. So we are very proud that we have these research centers. They are really active, and productivity is very high among either one of them. So we have the CBR, the Center for Behavioral Research in Rio, coordinated by Professor Eduardo Andrade. The Center for Banking and Financing Research in Rio, also coordinated by Professor Lars Norden. And the Applied Research Center in Accounting and Analytics, the ARC-ANA, coordinated by myself. You can also find information about these research centers at the EBAPE website. And the idea is that usually within each of these research centers, we develop very specific research projects. If you are joining our program and you don't have a clear idea on which kind of research you are intending to develop during your master or PhD program as a thesis or dissertation, take a look on the research centers. Join the research centers. Most probably, you can develop a piece of research from those research being developed inside these research centers as your master thesis, as your PhD dissertation. In addition to that, some of the research centers, sometimes we have some funding to financially support our students, giving additional scholarship. In addition to the road-renewed faculty and quality rigorous training, many students of ours agree that the environment offered by EBAPE is really inspiring an inspiring academic experience. And that's mainly due to these two aspects. We offer regularly the graduate seminars. And as I said, attending to graduate seminars is mandatory for first-year students from both the master and the PhD. But what is a research seminar? The research seminar are sessions where we invite professors to present their research projects that are still underway. So we invite researchers, high-level researchers, developing really interesting research to present their working papers, their researching project to our students. So they come to EBAPE or they join us through Zoom during a 1 hour and a half session. They present the papers, they talk about the backstage of that piece of research, they answer questions raised either by the students or the faculty. And at the end of the session, the faculty leave in the classroom or at the Zoom room. We keep only the students and the visiting professor. And then you can ask, students used to ask whatever they need or any curiosity they have to the visiting professor, like, I would like to apply for the job market at your university. How do you suggest me to do that? Or it's a master student and would I like to apply for the PhD at the visiting professor university. So you can ask that. You can ask whatever question comes to your mind and you are interested on. Or talk about the academic experience on the country where the visiting professor is from, and so on and so forth. That is a positive aspect of the social distancing imposed by the pandemic, is that recently, I would say that near 100% of the visiting professors that came to our graduate seminars are from abroad. But I don't know how it will be in the near future when we go back to the building. I hope you will be able to keep hybrid and receive some visiting professors through Zoom in order to be able to present and give this international flavor to our students as most as we can. In addition to that, there is also the international experience. Talking about the PhD program, we exhort our PhD students to go for a doutorado sanduíche, as we used to say here in Brazil, a doctoral stay abroad. So PhD students are encouraged to take the doctoral stay abroad after the second year. So during the first 2 years, PhD students take courses. When they finish all the credits they need to take from the courses and get the approval on the conceptual paper, we stamp their passport and they can go to a doctoral stay up to 12 months anywhere in a high-level university. This also applies, the same principle also applies to the master students, but the master students might take all the courses within the first year. Once the student has completed all the credits from the courses taken the first year and get the approval on the research project from his supervisor, we get a stamp on his passport and he or she can go for a master stay, let's say like that, and it used to be up to 6 months, okay? And finally, another reason why our students used to be so proud of studying at EBAPE is because of themselves as a whole. So yes, we are very proud of our students. You are top-notch students. And our students are really, really, really good students. And they are quite diverse. And this diversity comes from many characteristics, not only geographical, since there are Brazilian students, but our Brazilian students are not only from Rio de Janeiro. They are from Rio, São Paulo, and many other states from Brazil. And in addition to that, we have many, or a reasonable amount, of international students. We have students not necessarily today taking courses, but or just have graduated recently. We have students from or alumni from Poland, Italy, China, US, Russia. What else? Recently, Latin America, Germany, Mexico nowadays. So we have students from different countries, and this diversity gives a special flavor to the debate, the discussions we have, and the kind of research we do. And our students are also academic diverse. What do I mean by academic diversity? Is that we have students with very different backgrounds. Of course, most of them graduated in a bachelor in business administration, that's clear. But we have many that are graduated from a bachelor in other areas, like accounting, law, engineering, what else? Recently, psychology, physician, there are physicians, and medicine, and so on. So physics, and what I meant, and medicine. So quite diverse and very rich environment as well. Now, let's talk about money. How much does it cost? Nothing. We don't charge you any tuition fee. So all students accepted for the Master and PhD program will be exempted from any fees and duties. In addition to that, we also offer you a scholarship. The program offers student grants to, the program offers study grants to students for their upkeep based on the student's progress, performance, and full commitment studies under the program. What do I mean by this? Is that in addition to not paying anything, you also receive money from us. We pay you a scholarship if and only if you are full-time dedicated to the program. Because if you work, you are not eligible to receive any scholarship. Although you will still not pay any tuition fee, you will not receive a scholarship. But if you don't work and your performance is high level and in the courses, yes, you will receive a scholarship. So your investment is your time, your dedication, your commitment, your success. You won't invest money in your program studying at EBAPE, at the Master or PhD. And if you join our research assistant activities or TA, if you work as a teaching assistant to a professor at EBAPE, you might double your scholarship. You might receive an additional scholarship because the program has this policy to offer opportunities for students to double scholarship. In addition to that regular scholarship that they receive for studying and keeping a high level performance, if you work as a teaching assistant or research assistant within the program, you might receive the additional scholarship, okay? Now, let's go to the practicalities of the selection process. We are still in the beginning of 2022. Today is February, and we are working on the selection process for next year, 2023. And we organize our selection process within 2 rounds. Each round is exactly works exactly as the other one. So you don't need to take both rounds. If you take the first round and you are selected, that's fine. You are with us and you don't need to care about the second round. But if you miss the first round, you have a second opportunity to apply to the program on the second round. That's the key message on the meaning of these 2 rounds here. But today, I will focus only on the first round. So the application period has just started, 1st February, and the application period is open until August, 4th of August. So please, we wrote these days, as we used to say here in Brazil, so date and month, not month and date. So again, it goes until the 4th of August for applications. Then we will analyze your documents, and depending on your documents, we will invite you for the interview. And the interviews for the first round will take place still in August, between 16th until 18th of August. And we might announce our final results, saying who was approved or not, on the 22nd of August. The students selected in the first round will be able to enroll in the program until the end of August. And classes will start on January 23, although you have been enrolled since the end of August. And we offer a leveling statistics course that we call a statistics 0 on the first week of January. That will be from 9 to 13 of January next year. The statistics 0, and then the regular classes will start for the first quarter on January 16th. Now, please be aware that for the application, and I will show you some details about the application process, that it's open until the 4th of August. You shall present the results of one of the content tests that we require, and one of these tests is Teste AMPAD. AMPAD is an association of academic programs here in Brazil, and it offers 4 exams per year. The first one the exam will take place on the 22nd of February. So, in order to be able to apply to the first round until the 4th of August, you need to present AMPAD exam results or the other results that I will show later on. But if you are intending to take AMPAD exam, please be aware that the first edition of the exam will take place on February 22nd. This is the date of exam, when you sit to take the exam. In order to take the exam on the 22nd of this month, you need to register at AMPAD. And the registration period goes until Monday, next week, 7th of January. So be aware of that. If you miss the February exam, you can go and take the June exam that will take place on the 26th of June at AMPAD. And please, it's up to you to go to AMPAD website and pay attention on the registration period and take the exam. And then you send us together with these other documents on your application process that goes until the 4th of August. So this is the first phase of the selection process, that the document analysis. So first of all, until the 4th of August, you need to upload all the following documents: your undergraduate program, the standard tests. AMPAD, as I just said, is only one of them. If you miss AMPAD, you can take AMPEC or GRE or GMAT. It's up to you to decide. Either one of these is fine. Considering that AMPAD is the most popular among our candidates, I present the dates in the previous slide. In addition to that, you shall also present the English proficiency tests, either IELTS, TOEFL, IBT, Cambridge, CEFR, or EPICS from the British Council. You shall upload your updated Lattes curriculum, your CV Lattes, at the Lattes platform. If you're not from Brazil, if you don't know what it is, I suggest you Google Lattes CV, and you get to the CNPq webpage. You need to input your data and prepare your CV under that platform, and then you upload that to us. Plus, you shall write a letter of intention, like a motivation letter in English. Why are you intending to join EBAPE? To study with us in the master or in the PhD, depending on your case. I do suggest, like a spoiler here, I do suggest that in your letter of intention, you give some idea about which kind of research are you interested to develop, what's the key research question, what's your motivation for that specific research, and then for the master as a whole, and make a clear statement on how do you identify that the research track you have chosen is linked to that research program that you intend to study while you are a master student with us. And if you can, also present in the motivation letter which professor from the faculty you would like to be your supervisor in that specific research that will become your master thesis. On the top of that, you shall present 2 recommendation letters from people that, of course, know you, especially professors from your bachelor program, or if you're applying for the master, or if you're applying for the PhD, professors from your master program, or anyone that knows you really well on an academic environment, especially. Research track of interest. So you shall, you know that we offer 4 research tracks. You shall select 2 research tracks in order. So your first best option and your second best option. That's what we mean by the order of preference over those 2 research tracks. Why? Because we will be interviewed in the second phase. Depending on the documents you upload, you will invite you for an interview session. And who will interview you will be the faculty members that develop research in both of those 2 research tracks that you have chosen. So that's why it's so important that you make informed decision about the 2 research tracks that you prefer at most in order, because those faculty members that develop research on those 2 research tracks are those that will interview you. And if you are a candidate applying for the PhD, you shall, in addition to all of that, also present a pre-project of dissertation. If you are applying to the master, ignore this bottom line here and give us some idea about your research interest within your motivation letter. But if you are applying for the PhD, since you shall upload a pre-project of your dissertation, you don't need to talk about your research interest in the motivation letter, okay? For detailed information about the required documents, please access the public notice or send us an email. And then the second phase. The second phase will be an interview. The interview will be in English. And as I said, the interviewers are the faculty members that do research on both of those research, or either of those two research tracks that you selected in your application. Now, just keep in mind that we do not necessarily invite all the candidates to the interview. Depending on the amount of candidates applying, we will select, and the selection will be more or less tough depending on the amount of candidates, as I said. And what will we consider as key aspect to selecting those that will be interviewed? First of all, their performance on the standard tests and the English proficiency tests. And if you're applying for a PhD, the clarity and the high-level quality of your pre-project of dissertation. So depending on these aspects, we will decide whether you will be selected to the interview or not, okay? So that's it. I think it's time for the Q&A. Before that, please register there our telephone number if you have any doubt, your email. And again, I do exhort all of you, go through our website, take a look on the focus of each of our research track, identify two to which your research interests are closely connected to, identify who are the faculty members that work on those research tracks that you are most interested in, and read our papers to double check if you are applying for the right program, okay? I need to stress again, this program is designed for students that dedicate themselves entirely to this program. And we are very, very, very much demanding. We are demanding so much that the program is designed for those that are full-time dedicated to the program. And I need also to stress again the fact that our program is definitely research-oriented. In order to be research-oriented, we give so much emphasis on method courses, both quantitative and qualitative method courses, but I might say that we push a lot on the quantitative methods. So I need to say that to avoid you applying to a program that at the end of the day, you feel like you don't fit. So please be aware on the characteristics of this program before applying, okay? So thank you for your attention, your interest, and now I'm available for the Q&A. I have already received some questions here. Does the program offer a scholarship? Yes, no more, not only one, we can offer more than one if and only if you dedicate yourself to the program and you have a high level performance in the program, you are eligible to the regular scholarship. In addition to that, if you work with some professors as a teaching assistant, TA, or an RA, a research assistant, you have the opportunity to double your scholarship. And how much the scholarship? Another question that I have here. For master students, the scholarship is 1,500 reais per month. 1,500 reais per month. And PhD students, 2,200 reais per month. Okay? One scholarship. If you double, it's double of that. 3,000, 4,400. Depending master or PhD. Another question. Tendo visto que o programa tem viés quantitativo, teria alguma exigência em relação à área de formação, caso seja diferente de estação? Okay, the question is something like, the program has a bias on quantitative research. Yes, I shall agree with that. And then the candidate asks if there is any requirement that the candidates have a specific background, or if we are open for candidates from other areas than business administration. Yes, as I said, we are very proud that our students are academic diverse. So there is no constraint regarding your background. You might be a bachelor in accounting, in law, in administration, in medicine, in physics, in chemistry, in language, in whatever field. We don't care about that. Just be aware that this program is a academic PhD in administration, and we are focused on methods, and we have a bias to quantitative methods. Considering that environment, you are welcome to join us, no matter your background, formally speaking. Another one in Portuguese, so I'll read it and then I will try to translate. O pré-projeto de tese de doutorado será utilizado como parte da pesquisa no curso ou somente no processo de seleção? The question is, considering that PhD students are required in the application to upload a pre-project of the dissertation, the candidate's asking if that specific research pre-project is like binding and he or she is committed to develop that specific project as a pre-project as the final PhD dissertation at the end of the 48 months period. And the answer is definitely and a sound no. No, you shall not. I will say that again. I do expect that you shall not perform that pre-project you applied in the selection process as your thesis 4 years after the selection process. Why? It would mean that you have learned nothing. My feeling is that if a student of ours develops a thesis from the PhD, the same project that you was applied 4 years before in the selection process, I would say we have taught nothing to you. You have learned nothing from us, because I'm pretty sure that as you take courses, as you discuss research with the faculty, with your colleagues, you will identify so many more interesting research problems, interesting research questions, and more appropriate research methods than those that you considered 4 years before when you applied to the program. So please don't do that. The purpose of the pre-project is only a way to the faculty that will evaluate your application to better identify if you have any, or if you have a clear idea of what academic research is. That's it. So stating clearly your research project, the research problem you intend to investigate, the sound theory, the sound theoretical arguments that support the research you are interested in, and the methodologies you intend to apply. Give us some idea about that. Let us be sure that you have a clear research mind. Not so clear because you are still applying for the PhD, but that you have a research mindset. That's what we intend to identify from the pre-project. Another question. Preciso estar no Brasil durante todo o programa de doutorado? Teria um incentivo para realizar intercâmbio, doutorado sanduíche? Yes, I already answered that, but your question gave me another doubt here. So, as I said, during the first 2 years, PhD students shall take all the credits and get the approval on the conceptual paper. The conceptual paper for PhD students represents the first qualification, the first qualifying, okay? Once PhD students got the approval on all the credits during the first 2 years and the approval on the conceptual paper, they are free to go for a doutorado sanduíche as you asked, okay? Now, this is the situation that we have in a regular, old-fashioned, I might say, environment, where all the courses work in the building and the way we used to work before the pandemic. Nowadays, due to social distancing imposed by COVID pandemic, we are teaching and taking courses through Zoom, 100% online. So, specifically during this period, since February 2020, I might say, we are online. So we don't care if you are in Brazil or if you are in Rio de Janeiro or if you are abroad. Since you take the courses, although we are online, we are real-time course. So since you are at 2 o'clock at sharp in the afternoon or at 9 o'clock at sharp in the morning, taking the courses, and if you do all the out classroom activities and present all the assignments and all your activities, it's fine. We don't care if you are in Brazil or not. So during the pandemic, during the social distancing, this is the reality. Now, to the future. What do I expect will happen once we go back to the building? It's hard to say. I'm not making any commitment in behalf of FGV. I just a feeling that I expect that we could go hybrid. So some students in the building, other students, some meetings through Zoom, and that would help. That would happen. But I'm not pretty sure how we will perform in that regard. This policy is still under discussion, okay? Are statistics leveling classes mandatory? No. Leveling classes, statistics 0 is definitely not mandatory. We do exhort you to take, considering, as I just said, that this is a method-oriented course with a bias on quantitative research. I do suggest you take the leveling on statistics 0, but it's up to you. That's it. No more questions. No more questions on that? Okay. So thank you all for your interest in our program. Thank you for the questions. And I do hope to see you in the interview session. If you need to clarify any issue regarding your application about our program, please send us an email, call us. I have shown our contacts in the last slide. So we will be very, very happy to help you identifying whether this is the program that you really want to take that that really fits your expectations. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice year. Bye bye.